scary?
Right, it's actually scary.
This is the largest observation wheel in the world. It is 250 meters. It's like 57 floors.
The last thing I can image that it was a museum.
It looks like a space center, doesn't it?
Sure. The museums here are not old and dusty, but interactive and on a grand scale.
It's free entertainment, but it gives me goosebumps and wild delight. This is one of the largest and longest fountains in the world.
We are in the desert.
He said we need to belt up.
Hello, our good ones. You are on Max and Olya's channel, and this is our family travel blog, Look Around. You can see from the picture that we are not in Ternopil or Poltava, because we decided to dilute these cold winter days with warmth, sunshine, and palm trees that shines in our eyes. That's why we flew to the Arab Emirates.
And we will show you not only the promoted Dubai, but also the neighboring one, the less popular but more affordable Emirate of Sharjah. Are you ready?
Look around, Emirates!
The United Arab Emirates is a country that has grown in the middle of a dead desert in just 50 years. The Emirates have 365 days of sunshine a year, and there is no precipitation for years, so there is even a rain museum. The Emirates still have the death penalty, and there is almost no crime. The Emirates is one of the richest countries in the world, and 87,000 millionaires live here. In the Emirates, they love the biggest, the highest, and the most expensive things, so they are constantly setting world records.
We arrived in Sharjah. It's a non-alcoholic emirate, a 20-minute drive from Dubai, but it's much cheaper to live in, eat, and generally have cheaper prices. That's why many tourists settle in Sharjah and go to Dubai for a walk. We decided to show that there are things to do and see in this emirate as well.
Friends, let's start watching Sharjah from the Corniche embankment, because as for me, this is the best view of the city. Look, today it's still so hazy and all these skyscrapers are in a light haze, as if they were some kind of photo booths, not a real city.
The promenade stretches for 3 kilometers and is home to a number of tourist attractions and entertainment. You can go boating, sit in a cafe, see the parks and the mosque. The embankment is also very beautiful and green, and locals love to have picnics there, ride bikes with their friends, or just take a stroll.
And now look at that shore. It's not just a shore, it's an island with an amusement park on it. But we are going to another island. It's called Noor Island. The entrance fee is paid, 35 dirhams, but it's definitely worth it. Let's go and have a look.
A beautiful open-work bridge leads to the island. It offers a beautiful view of the waterfront.
The first impression of the island was that we were in some kind of oasis in the middle of the desert. There is such dense vegetation here, just impenetrable thickets.
Look at this tree.
Indeed, the tree looks like a huge avocado. I don't know why I have associations with avocados. It's so thick in general. There are many interesting plants and trees here. And it's a thrill on this island to just walk in the greenery when the city is hot, noisy, and dusty. It really is a paradise here.
The island is small, but there is a meadow of cacti, a playground and a rope park, and a variety of modern sculptures.
And this is how I shot it, in water, up to the bone. Olya, look, a swing. It's your special trick.
Wow, I love this island more and more now. And it's not just a swing. Look at the view of the city from here. The panorama is just crazy. It's awesome. But the most interesting place on the island is this building. Look how beautiful it is. It's called Butterfly House. And there are, as you might have guessed, butterflies inside.
You have to pay an additional 15 dirhams to enter.
Wow, my God, how cool! There are so many butterflies here, and they are all colorful blue and yellow. Wow, look, it just flew over me. That's awesome. I think you know what it is, that they are not real, that it is some kind of virtual reality. To be honest, it's a little scary that it will crash into you because they fly so chaotically.
A special microclimate has been created for butterflies, so it is humid and very warm inside.
Yeah, look, where are all the butterflies? On the food, of course. Look, they're so cool.
Look! A leaf butterfly.
It looks like a bay leaf.
Wow! You'd never guess it was butterfly, but it's just a leaf. It's a cool thing that nature has come up with.
There's an incubator here, where butterfly pupae hatch and fly out. You see, there are still very young ones over here. It has already hatched here, but it can't get out.
I went to this place with some skepticism, but it turned out that watching butterflies looking at them is very energizing.
There are so many positive emotions, and these butterflies just fly over your head. They are not afraid at all, and there is such a variety of them. In short, I was high on this place, and I strongly advise you to come here.
Friends, what do you know about Sharjah? I think most of you probably don't know anything. And this is actually the cultural capital of the Emirates, because there are a lot of museums here. And the museums here are not just old, dusty ones, but interactive and on a grand scale. You might ask me why I'm telling you this in the desert. Well, it's obvious why. Because we came to the museum, and it's in the desert. And by the way, it's a futuristic one, called the Bukhaiz Geological Park.
It took us 40 minutes to get here from Sharjah. Why was the museum built not in the city, but somewhere on the edge of civilization? Because the exhibits are right under your feet. And in general, just so you understand, this is the former ocean floor. Fossils, shells, and prehistoric sea urchins dating back 125 million years were found here. We will get to them later. But first, how do we get here?
We traveled with a group by car 80 kilometers from Sharjah to get here. It is inconvenient to get there by public transport because you have to make a lot of transfers and the stop is quite far away. You can take a taxi, by the way. A taxi will cost about 100 dirhams. That's about $27. And about the entrance to the museum. It costs 10 dirhams plus 5%. This is a local tax.
Just look at what this museum looks like. Isn't it cool? 5 interconnected space capsules, specially designed to minimize intrusion into nature. The building even stands on special stilts and barely touches the ground.
By the way, it's cool that they take you from the ticket office to the museum itself, which is further away, in a golf cart like this. That's cool.
The distances here are too far for people to understand that the ticket office is here and the museum is over
Olya,
there.
they're leaving.
Oh wait, they went without me. Is it normal to drive like that?
In short, it's a mini tour of the desert. It lasts a minute, or less. Here we are. This last thing, you might think it was a museum. It doesn't look like it at all.
It looks like a space center, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Inside, the museum looks more like a museum. There is a guide in a hijab who enlightens us on all these archaeological matters.
Oh look, I've launched a planet. Or rather, volcanic activity on it.
So, the museum is interactive.
Here you can also look at different rocks magnified through a microscope. You can look through binoculars at the mountains, some ancient shells, ancient stones. In short, anyone interested in archaeology will be 100% delighted with this museum. For example, Ross from the Friends would be ecstatic here.
But I was most impressed by the museum cinema hall. And not because it shows a film about the Earth 175 million years ago, but for its ending. Outside the window, the museum's most valuable exhibit is the Jebel Bukhaiz Ridge, which is 65 million years old. You can also see it on the street, where the exhibition continues. The trail runs through deposits of the Stone, Bronze and Iron Ages, and at first glance these are just ordinary stones, but when the guide says numbers like 100 million years old or 150, you have a slightly different attitude towards these boulders.
It was very unexpected that the museum was not just a building but a whole route, and here is the end of our museum route on this observation deck where you can see the deserts, where you can see the Emirates. And it's great that in the Emirates, if they do something, they do it on a large scale. It's like the half of the desert.
Not far from the Museum of Geology, there is another super-scale museum of vintage cars. The entrance fee is much more expensive, 55 dirham, but the cars here are just overwhelming. There are more than 100 of them in the museum, mostly from the personal collection of the ruler of Sharjah, Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi. Another very unusual museum, it's already in the city, is the Rain Museum. Yes, it is exotic for desert dwellers. That's why locals come here to listen to its noise and walk under the drops. The idea was to walk in the rain and not get wet, because the sensors upstairs are triggered to stop the water. But in fact, it still drips and I got a little wet. But what cool photos can you take here? Check it out.
It's a cool thing, exotic. Now I understand why the locals come here. It hasn't rained in Sharjah for more than a year, so rain is exotic to them. But the device, in fact, it leaks, and I was walking very slowly, but I was wet. So the fact that you spend time in the rain and stay dry is kind of not quite the same, as you can see from me.
Traditionally, we show where we have settled. The hotel is called Occidental Sharjah Grant. This is a beach hotel on the first line, and it has all-inclusive, which is rare for the Emirates.
Now, my favorite part. Room tour. Look, we have a very decent room, which I just love. But there is room to put things out and catch up with each other. Like, it's really cool. A huge king-size bed, so you can lose each other at night. And I like these Arabian things, these lamps above the bed. They are very cool. In general, the room has everything you need. In fact, my favorite thing is a huge full-length mirror so I can see how I look. Many hotels don't have this. There's a place for luggage, plasma, and a work desk. By the way, if someone comes to work, it should be convenient. And by the way, what a compliment the hotel left us. It's something incredible, a shell with a pearl and it's all chocolate. I mean, you can eat it all. Here we have a mini bar, free water every day, coffee, instant by the way, tea and an electric kettle. That is, you can make yourself some tea or coffee in your room. But the most important feature of our room and the hotel in general is our terrace overlooking the Persian Gulf. Just look at this panorama. From here, by the way, you can see the scale of our hotel, how huge it is. Below us is an entertainment area with swimming pools, sun loungers, and a beach cafe.
Our room with breakfast costs 580 dirham for 2 people. If you take all-inclusive, it's 1110. By the way, the food here is very tasty. The menu has been adapted for tourists.
And it's a super cool bonus that the hotel has its own beach. Look at the white sand and the clear water. And not too deep, because there are people standing far away and the water is waist deep. The hotel's speciality is that it's family run. And it's great to relax with children here because it's not deep. On the beach, we also have bananas, some entertainment, scooters, so you can add a little bit of extreme to your holiday. And it's great that the hotel is fenced off. Only those people who live in the hotel are here.
The hotel will not let you get bored either, because there is a schedule with a bunch of activities for the whole day. Children's exercise, water aerobics, yoga, all included in the room rate.
Yes, friends, we are traveling in a big car. That's the way it is here in the Emirates. They love big cars, they have a weakness to them, but we need it for business. We're going to a super local event. I'm not giving up on what it will be yet. If you guessed it, don't tell anyone, because I want to surprise you.
To get to our point, we drive along the road with 8 lanes in one direction. And after 40 minutes of driving, the landscape outside the window changes dramatically. So, have you guessed where we are?
Well, friends, we are in the desert. The city is called Al-Awiyah. And we have something planned here. You know what? A Jeep Safari. Here, you see, it's a car like this. We will drive it over dunes, sands dunes. It's just like that car. I've been dreaming about this for a long time. And now my little dream will come true.
At first, it didn't look scary at all. It was just a car in sand. But then, the driver burned it out.
Shite, this is fucked up. My mask fell off. Shite, that's really hard. Am I dry? I'm dry. It was great. The girls were screaming and I was screaming myself, but hey, it was a thrill. It's a real pleasure. You're racing, you're going left and right. It seems like you're going to fall somewhere. You're going to rise up. The adrenaline is going through the roof. It's just super duper cool.
After such an adrenaline rush, you need to calm your nerves a bit. That's why we're going to watch the sunset.
Listen, what a beautiful sunset is in the desert right now.
To be honest, I expected much higher dunes and real desolation from the Emirati desert, but I understand that it is just a popular tourist destination. In fact, these landscapes reminded me of our Oleshki sands. What about you? Let us know in the comments. And in general, we had a great experience.
And in general, we had an extreme experience. There was some romantic in the desert. And now we have entertainment events. He's in that camp, by the way. And now something is waiting for us, something grand and local. So, let's go.
This is what the campsite looks like in the middle of the desert. A huge area with souvenir shops, food, drink, and last but not least, a restroom.
I asked some local Bedouins guys. The system is like this. You go in. In fact, your tour is almost all inclusive. What's included? There will be a concert, which means there will be dancing, belly dancing, and a fire show. At 6:30 p.m. in this shack, they will start preparing starters and some food. We'll see what kind of food it is later. These seats are free, and then there are the VIP seats. To get on, you have to pay an extra 50 dirhams. And also, it's free, which means there's water, tea, even hookah, I was told, free of charge. I don't know, I need to check. All other drinks, even alcohol, are sold here, but you have to pay extra for them. So, we are waiting for the show.
It was as if we were at some kind of festival. By the way, such a half-day trip to the desert costs $65 per person. And so far, in terms of emotions, it's absolutely worth it.
Yes, they started distributing food and there was a huge queue. For starters, free food!
How is it free? We paid for the tour.
Oh, right.
The food was the only thing that was a little disappointing. The starters are very spicy and there is too much dough. You can choose the main dinner yourself, which is in the form of a buffet. There are quite a lot of dishes, but again a lot of spicy ones. In short, the show program saved the evening.
Well, what can I tell you, friends? The program here is rich and very long. Everything will be delayed until almost 9 o'clock in the evenings, so plan for half a day steadily. Overall, my favorite part of the trip was, of course, the Jeep ride, and the fire show was great. The only thing is that the food here is a bit of an amateur's choice.
Good morning, friends. Today we are moving to another emirate, to another city, to Dubai. The same one. We prepared a lot of treats there because there is really something to see.
We had a very long way to go. 10 kilometers because these are neighboring towns. We could even see Burj Khalifa from the beach.
And now, hello Dubai. Large scale, luxurious, shiny, expensive, and very expensive. Most, if not all, tourists start looking at Dubai from here. And we will start from here. This is the historic center of the city, and it has a completely different vibe.
Why did we come here? Because this is where one of the cheapest attractions in Dubai is located. There's a branch here, part of the Persian Gulf, which, as you can see, is a waterway, a river, like this. It goes straight into the city and cuts it in two. It's called Creek Dubai.
A ticket for the cheapest entertainment costs only 2 dirhams. And as you may have guessed, it's a boat.
And that's it. So, yeah, we can go. No? Too late?
Yeah.
When another? At what time?
After 10-15 minutes.
15 minutes. We missed it a little bit. Our ship sailed. It departs every 15 minutes here, so we'll wait. We'll be riding a traditional boat. They're called Abra. They run around creek like minibuses, so they're cheap. So, take 2. The boat has arrived again. Let's try to get on it. They wanted to put us on this brand new Abra, but we chose this old one. Well, let's sit down. There aren't even armchairs here, Olya. Was it really more comfortable there? But it's a bit scary here. It's really old school. Look, it doesn't even have sides.
The trip is interesting because the water offers a special view of the historic part of Dubai.
You can see all these old houses, boats, seagulls flying around. There are already new houses, planes and so on across the street. It's really cool. When you are here, I seriously recommend that you take a ride here. Is that all? In fact, a couple of minutes and that's it, we docked.
What did you want for 2 dirhams, Max?
Well, that's what they should say. 2 dirhams, 2 minutes.
One more piece of advice. Come to Creek Dubai at sunset. It is truly magical here. and a trip on Abri in the evening bay is a separate type of pleasure. In Dubai, we also checked into an Occidental hotel. It's brand new here, just opened in 2020. There are several restaurants, a bar, a gym, a spa area, and an open-air pool with views of Dubai's skyscrapers.
Well, welcome to our Dubai room. This is a standard room for two. Everything is so restrained here, but in Emirati style. You see, we have a huge bed on the mat, a plasma screen, a window overlooking Dubai. However, you can't really see it because the windows are a bit dusty, because there are often sandstorms here, and that's why cleaning windows is such a thankless task here. Let's open it. Oh! Look, you can see the whole of Dubai. There's the Burj Khalifa over there, but you can't see it because the building blocks it. The mosque. It's about time for prayer. Let's go back to the room. You can see all sorts of elements here. We have paintings hanging. There's something else I don't understand, but it's very beautiful. It looks like a pregnant woman, by the way. By the way, the sockets here look a bit scary, but don't worry, our appliances fit in. And what I particularly liked was that there is a USB connector, a convenient way to charge. And this remote control by the bed, which controls the lighting in different areas of the room. That's it. Good night.
Our room costs 387 dirham per night. You have to pay extra for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And it's a hefty fee. But you can use the swimming pool, gym and sauna free of charge. However, we don't have time for that because we are already rushing to the center of Dubai. It's good that there is a train a 15-minute walk from the hotel.
We are now getting to the Burj Khalifa. We will take the metro. This is a separate interesting feature of Dubai that is worth seeing.
The first thing that catches your eye is that the metro is very clean. Each station has a toilet and free Wi-Fi.
Yes, look, the metro is quite expensive here. It is Dubai after all. And one metro ride in one zone, which is the cheapest, costs 10 dirhams. That's almost $3. But for those who want to ride all day, for tourists for example, it is more profitable to take a day ticket. It is also available here. We found it, 22 dirhams. How much is it? Almost $6.
And this ticket is for the metro and buses. This is important. You can use both.
The metro platform and trains are also completely different from ours. Firstly, trains here run without a driver. You can sit in the front and back, there are no cabins. Secondly, the platform looks like this. There are sliding doors, the train arrives, the doors are synchronized and open simultaneously. And now it is also very important that the cars are not like ours. There are 3 types, and it is important to get on the right train. Because there is the first type of carriage, the silver one. It is so common for everyone, boys and girls can sit there, anyone. The second type is the golden carriage. Usually, because at the beginning or at the end and marked in yellow, the ticket costs twice as much, and it's a VIP carriage. There are leather chairs, larger distances between the chairs, like a luxury hotel. It's some kind of business class, yes. And there is a third type of carriage, marked pink. It is exclusively for women and children. There is also a system of fines. This is also very important, that they fine you if you get on the wrong carriage. For example, in women's or gold.
It's cool that Dubai's metro is mostly ground-based, and you can see the city during the trip.
Well, this is where we say goodbye to Max. Max goes to his carriage mixed up, and I'm going to the women's room because this is a women's carriage. This is the first carriage. And it should offer a very cool view of the city. So friends, what's up? Welcome to the women's carriage. The pink signs say so. Although, in fact, look, there is one solid carriage. Here I see Max. Hello. Here. Look, you can see how we're going to drive. This is the future, honestly. I can't get used to the idea that this is a driverless metro. And this machine is huge. She travels alone and knows where to stop. There's a slight trepidation, to be honest. It feels like you're on a roller coaster, especially on such bends. Well, Max, did you feel discriminated against, which is not have the same view with this type of man's carriage?
But there were a lot of girls in my carriage too.
There is still important information for you. The exit from the metro is also through turnstiles, so keep your ticket until you leave the station.
Yes, friends, we have arrived at the Burj Khalifa or Dubai Mall metro station. But if you think that we're going to go out and see this giant building right now, you're wrong. We still have a few kilometers to go through this tunnel. Let's go.
I wasn't kidding about the few kilometers. It takes about 20 minutes to walk. And that's on fast lane.
And this is only half of the route. We only reached Dubai Mall, and it is huge.
For a moment, Dubai Mall is the largest shopping and entertainment center in the world. 1,200,000 square meters of total area, 1,200 shops, and a 24-meter waterfall with pearl catchers.
Friends, we have finally reached the exit. We ran for 1 kilometer and 300 meters and finally got to the very center, to the heart of the city, to downtown.
Burj Khalifa!
Oh, it doesn't fit in the frame.
Well, hello there. The main tower of the Emirates and the tallest building in the world. 828 meters, 163 floors and $1.5 billion for construction. And while the tourists are trying to get the Burj Khalifa in the frame, we will climb it.
More precisely, to the observation deck, which is located on the 124th floor. In general, we would like to make a selection of cool observation decks in Dubai for you, because to understand the grandeur and scale of this place, you have to look from above. Let's take a look at the first most popular viewpoint.
And the entrance to the observation deck is, guess where? In Dubai Mall. Be prepared for a queue at the Burj Khalifa box office, so it's best to buy tickets online. The price for a view on the 124th and 125th floors is 149 dirham. There's also a platform on the 148th floor, but a ticket there costs 379 dirham. We're going to 125th floor.
Friends, there are 57 lifts here. Imagine how huge this number is. And they are super fast here, going 10 meters per minute.
In a second.
I'm sorry. I was just speechless after that lift. And they take you to the 124th floor in just a minute. My ears were ringing inside me, damn it.
We jostled in the queue and finally got to the viewpoint.
Wow, look! My God, what a panorama opens up here. Look! Oh. It's scary to the point of being scared, to be honest, because we make cars look so tiny. Well, we are on the 125th floor of a super complex, ingenious building. So far, by the way, it is the highest in the world, although already in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain is building skyscrapers that will be more than 1 kilometer high. Can you imagine? But so far, we have managed to visit the tallest building in the world. It gives me goosebumps.
We are at an altitude of 456 meters, and look at those houses down there. They are also skyscrapers, but they look tiny.
By the way, I'm very surprised that the windows are clean, because I read videos of many tourists writing that the windows are dusty and you can't see anything. We came, the windows are clean. I'll tell you an interesting fact. To wash all the windows of the Burj Khalifa, it takes 3 months. They are washed by special machines which were developed specifically for this building and people. 3 months later, they start cleaning windows. The former was already dirty.
From the 125th floor, the stairs lead down to 124th floor. There is an outdoor terrace.
And we teleport to another observation deck next door. And there is a great view of the Burj Khalifa and something else from there.
You can see that glass isthmus which connects two huge gigantic buildings. So it is precisely there that the three super adrenaline systems are located. High-rise Dubai entertainment. Olya, of course, will now resist and squeak.
I'm already scared.
Olya, don't say a thing. We're going that way.
The place is called Skyview, and we go up there in a glass high-speed lift.
Yes, friends, we have reached the 53rd floor, 219.5 meters high. In fact, roughly speaking, Dubai is all about skyscrapers. All of them are at the top heights near the sky. Wow, it's incredible. It's unbelievable. This is the best view of the Burj Khalifa that I have seen in Dubai. And this is not the main attraction here, by the way, but you just want to stop and look around. It's like a stone jungle here. In fact, I came here to tickle my nerves in this glass corridor, on a glass floor, 220 meters above the ground.
I walk, my legs are shaking, it's a nightmare.
It's great, I don't know, I'm not scared, I can jump here. You feel safe somehow.
Special thanks to the guy with the mop who is constantly wiping the floor. The glass is clean and you can see every detail.
What is it, Max?
You know, I realized why I wasn't scared, because I couldn't quite believe that this was real. You watch, observe, it seems like some kind of computer game.
And now we go up a floor. This is where the nerves start to kick in.
Well, this is the most interesting thing for me. It's called Sky Slide. And look, I'm going to have to take a ride on my fifth point. Here, down the glass bridge.
It's a glass slide, not a bridge.
It's a glass slide. Yes, look, there's glass on the right, glass on the left, glass on the top, and glass on the bottom. This is the most interesting thing. You're driving stupidly at an altitude of 219.05 meters. Is there anybody squeaking at all? I understand that people are scared here, but I'm actually interested in moving out. Olya, will you go?
I don't know, I'm not a fan, you're the first.
Come on!
A special mat is provided for the slide. You sit down and then it's just like in your childhood. It's almost like when I was a kid.
Isn't it scary, Max?
It's scary, actually.
Tell me if you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Push by yourself.
Whoa!
Woo! Shite, I'm going to crash. Shite, I thought I was going to crash right into the glass here. It's not a big deal.
Although Olya never dared to move out, but she took a very impressive photo. For your information, the installation is at the bottom of the slide. The gods let us out.
There's also a very cool attraction called Sky Edge. You can see the guys and girls walking right along the edge of the skyscraper. There are 200 or almost 220 meters under them. But we can't ride like that.
Look, it's gloriously amazing.
What they are doing is pretty damn simple. We can't ride like that because our tickets don't include it. To ride like this, you need to buy a ticket for as much as 699 dirham. Our price is 65 dirham. It includes sky slide and walking through that glass corridor. And one more thing, by the way, prices go up at sunset. By the way, the price here is 85 dirhams during the sunset, just so you know.
Listen, it's cool.
I would ride like that.
I wouldn't.
Another cool location with a glass floor is Dubai Frame. It is a giant photo frame, 150 meters high. Entrance cost 50 dirham. Inside, there are the museums of Dubai's past and future, and the transparent floor on the top of the frame is a funky touch, because it becomes transparent when you step on it.
Well, we are going to an even more grandiose observation deck.
Guys, the next location just dropped my jaw from the first second. It's just that this location doesn't even fit into the frame, even though we're shooting a wide shot. This observation wheel is the largest in the world, so you can be sure. The place is fresh, by the way, because it was opened only in autumn 2021. It is called Ain Dubai, that is, the Eye of Dubai. Height, 250 meters, is like 57 floors, people.
You're looking at $1.5 billion. It's a Titanic between the Ferris wheels. It's like a Tesla of attractions world, and you feel like an ant in front of him.
Let's go and try it.
The cheapest wheel ticket costs 130 dirham. At sunset, double the actual bed. There are also VIP booths with a bar, Velcro drinks, and a queue free pass for 250 dirham. We go to a regular booth, but for a sunset. They say it's worth it.
Just to give you an understanding, the wheel is so high that you have to take an escalator to get on. I'll tell you this, my hands are already sweating. They look like some kind of space capsule. Look, it's like a one-room smart apartment, just some kind of spaceship. There is so much space here. Listen, the people of Dubai know how to build on a large scale, gigantic scale. They do it very well. We haven't even reached the halfway point of the wheel yet, and the view is just incredible. I am in shock, and by the way, it's not scary at all yet. I thought we would be swaying because it is a Ferris wheel after all. But in general, the cabin is absolutely stable because it is massive. It does not sway, so far everything is fine.
Check out the sunset there, huh?
Now I understand why the price is double when there is sunset. It is very beautiful.
Well, the most exciting moment, now we will be at the highest point of the world's largest Ferris wheel. Well, Max, I congratulate you. High five. That's it. We're on top, 250 meters.
Just so you know, the wheel makes a full circle in 38 minutes. Therefore, there is frankly enough time. The cabin can accommodate as many as 31 people, but when I was in cabin, there was only 14 people. This is better. You can take a photo without a crowd. And what's convenient is that you buy tickets for a specific time so that there is no queue.
You can see the palm tree. You can see the palm tree. Look, it's the famous palm tree.
It is still the most beautiful observation deck in Dubai. 1,000 recommendations for you. 38 minutes passed like 38 seconds. But we have another site planned. On the famous artificial island, the Palm Jumeirah.
The observation deck was also opened recently. It's called The View on the Palm, and the entrance fee is at 100 dirham, and at sunset it's more expensive, 158 dirham. First, we were taken through a virtual oceanarium, then through a museum dedicated to the miracle of the island, and to the cinema. It showed how this palm tree was built, and this, my friends, is a masterpiece, both the film and the palm tree itself.
Island that captured the world's imagination rose from the sea. Welcome to the view at the Palm.
We went up to the 52nd floor to a height of 240 meters. Ta-da! The view!
Where is view?
Where is view? It's dark, you can't see anything. No, look, it's cool. We are here now at the top of this palm tree. That is, we are standing on a branch. And other branches that diverge from ours. You can see them. Look, how many are there? That's great. We can now see Dubai, night. And it's great. We saw the daytime one, we saw the evening one. Now let's have a look at the night one.
Cool, this is the Ferris wheel we used to ride.
That's right, look.
If you want to have a good look at the island itself, it is better to come during the day. In the evening, they are just beautiful lights.
Here you can also see the following the steps into glass. To make it even more visible was even more frightening. But in fact, it's not scary at all, but you can see it better. I used to think that this palm tree, it's a small island. It is actually gigantic. There are so many buildings there, and they end up on these branches villas were built. And a lot of Hollywood stars bought these villas for themselves.
Property on the island was sold out in a record 3 days. The Jumeirah palm is definitely an engineering miracle. To build an island in the middle of the water and of this form is just a crazy idea. For $7 billion.
How did they build it? I still don't understand.
We take the metro back to the center of Dubai to record our trip, the most ambitious and popular Dubai location.
Look how many people there are. I think all the tourists are here. Because now is the most important is an attraction in Dubai in the evening. These are fountains. You can't see them yet because it's the break and we have time to find a cool angle. Let's go look for it.
The fountains are free, so in the evening they are attended by almost all tourists in the city.
The show hasn't started yet. I'll tell you why I'm here in the first place. Such a crowd of people, because everyone came to watch to one of the largest and longest fountains of the world. I can't see here for a moment because it doesn't work, but it's long 275 meters and the jet length reaches 150 meters. Can you imagine? Although compared to the Burj Khalifa, it only reaches a quarter of it.
The Burj Khalifa, by the way, is beautiful in the evening. I recommend it.
The best view of the fountains on a bridge called Sukar Bahar. The tower and the fountains are clearly visible here, but now it's packed to the gills. I will now try to find a place, squeeze in, so that there is at least some kind of view.
Come on, Olya, come on, I'm behind you.
The fountain show takes place from 6 to 11 p.m. every half hour. People occupy the best seats 15 to 20 minutes before the start. We arrived in 5 minutes, so there was no room for it anymore. But for your information, on the first level of the bridge, there is a specially fenced-off area where they are allowed with children and inclusive people. We came here to like a press to capture the best shots for you.
It's starting! God, I have goosebumps again. It's so wonderful.
The fountain can simultaneously lift up to 80 tons of water into the air and does so with such force that it sounds like a gunshot.
It's amazing. Guys, this is just something that you absolutely have to see in Dubai. It's an absolutely free attraction, but the whole song gives me goosebumps and wild excitement. Is this perhaps the only fountain in the world that gets a standing ovation at the end?
There are 2 more daytime sessions of the fountain, at 13 and 13:30. But as for me, in the evening it looks more grandiose and much more impressive.
The Emirates is a small country, but the distances between tourist locations are huge. And this trip was more of a test case for us to see the Emirates, and Dubai in particular, because we did not have time to visit all the top tourist locations. And I want to come back again to see everything.
And to rest, because we didn't have time, we were shooting so much, we had such a tight schedule. Friends, if you like this video, don't forget to put a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, if you haven't already done so. Let us know in the comments, we are looking forward to hearing from you. Which of these places we have shown you like the most?
We love you.
Bye bye. And now it's prohibited things goes on.